Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in the previous session we have discussed about all type of intermolecular forces. Okay, by the last session we have completed all the type of intermolecular forces and even the factors which affect the intermolecular forces of attractions. Well, here just if we consider the different type of intermolecular forces of attractions. Yes, what we considered, there are two type of intermolecular forces of attractions. They are broadly categorized as polar interactions and non-polar interactions. And further, in polar interactions, there are three types. It is dipole-dipole interactions, dipole-induced dipole interactions, and the third one, ion dipole interactions. Well, here, what we said about dipole-dipole interactions, so it is a electrostatic force of attraction. Okay, electrostatic force of attraction exists between two oppositely charges of a dipole or polar molecules. Okay, it is referred as a dipole-dipole interactions. And dipole induced dipole interactions, the second one, what we said here, say any non-polar molecule is nothing but it is a non-polar and is not going to exhibit any type of dipoles, but in presence of a polar molecule, polar and non-polar molecules, so in presence of polar molecule, what happens, a polar molecule induces a dipole in a non-polar molecules, thereby attraction takes place between polar and non-polar molecules. So such interactions is referred as a dipole induced dipole interactions. The forces of attraction exist between polar and non-polar molecules. Okay, it's called a dipole induced dipole interactions. And the third one we said about ion dipole interactions. Whenever an electrolyte or any electrolytic substances are added to suitable solvent, what happens, it splits into ions, that is cation and anion. So these ions, they undergo solvation. They undergo a process called solvation, means the phenomenon in which ions are get surrounded by solvent molecules. Thereby what happens here, that ions, either cation or anion, both, they are going to interact with the solvent molecules. So that interaction between ion and solvent molecules is referred as a ion dipole interactions. Okay, and further we considered non-polar interactions. There is one type of non-polar interactions, it is the dispersion force, or it is also called a London forces of attractions. So what it is the a type of attractions or the intermolecular forces exist between a temporary dipoles of a atom or molecule. Okay, now if I consider water as a state, one of the example. So here water exists in all three states, right? Water exists in solid state in the form of ice, water exists in liquid state, that is liquid water, and water even exists in a gaseous state, that is water vapors. Now if I consider water liquid, that is a liquid form of a water. Now here what type of intermolecular forces, what type of intermolecular forces of attraction water has? So here water, we know practically water is a polar molecule and it has dipoles in it, right? If we consider water molecule, formula H2O, right? Formula of a water H2O. So here what is oxygen? Oxygen is electronegative element, which is more electronegative element. Therefore if I consider the bonded electrons, so oxygen carries how many electrons? Is going to have a total 6 valential electrons. Say oxygen, atomic number 8, 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. So there are totally 6 valential electrons. Out of 6, 4 electrons remains as a lone pairs. One lone pair, second lone pair. There are 2 lone pair of electrons and another 2 electrons of oxygen involved in a bond formation with hydrogen. Now here, as oxygen is being more electronegative, what happens? That shared pair of electrons will be present more towards. So consider these are the shared pair of electrons. They are present more towards what? They present more towards oxygen atom. Therefore, what happens? Oxygen, say it is the lone pair of electrons and remaining are the shared pair of electrons. Because of this, oxygen atom going to carry what? Partial negative charge, and on the other hand, hydrogen atom is going to carry partial positive charges. Therefore, we say water molecule is polar and it has a dipoles in it. Dipole means there are two poles present, positive and negative poles. Okay. Well, say water, oxygen carries partial negative charge and hydrogen atoms carry partial positive charges. So is the one dipole. Another water molecule, if I consider, is also one more dipole. So there interacts. So basically we can say there exist a dipole-dipole interactions, but here a special type of interaction exists. It is the hydrogen bond. Okay, special type of interaction. What is the name? It is named as a hydrogen bond. Okay, hydrogen bond exists between the water molecules. Means hydrogen bond, what it is? Hydrogen bond is a special type of interaction which exists between or within a molecules. Okay, it is basically it is a what type of interaction? It is a dipole interactions. Basically hydrogen bond is a dipole interactions, but which is, if strength wise, which is more stronger than simple dipole interactions. Okay, well, so water molecule, here I consider two water molecules. So both the water molecules are held together by bond called a dipole interactions, or even particularly we can say here hydrogen bond exist. So one water molecule going to carry two charges, so is the one dipole. Another water molecule also carries two opposite charges, so is the one another dipole. So dipole, there are two dipoles, they interact. So basically we call it is a dipole interactions. Particularly we call there exists a hydrogen bond between the water molecules. Okay. So hydrogen bond, if I compare with the simple dipole forces, hydrogen bond is slightly more stronger than simple dipole forces of attraction. So remember, hydrogen bond is a kind of dipole interaction itself, but on comparison their bond strength, hydrogen bond is slightly more stronger compared to simple dipole interactions. Okay. Well, so here hydrogen bonding, how that hydrogen bonding rises means, say here water molecule formula H2O. So in this, oxygen is the second most electronegative element. So therefore what happens, that whatever the shared pair of electrons between oxygen and hydrogen, they are shifted more towards oxygen atom. Therefore oxygen atom carry partial negative charge and hydrogen atoms carry partial positive charges. So as like the adjacent water molecules, all the water molecules are going to be have alike charges. Hydrogen atoms partial positive charge and oxygen atoms partial negative charges. So these water molecules themselves they interact, means negative charge of one water molecule interact with the positive charge of another water molecule. Therefore whatever the interaction rises is referred as a hydrogen bonding. Well, how we can define it means so what is hydrogen bond, or how we can define means, hydrogen bond is nothing but what it is a weak electrostatic force of attraction between hydrogen atom of a molecule, one molecule, with highly electronegative atom such as fluorine, oxygen and nitrogen of other molecule or within the same molecule. Means this hydrogen bond is nothing but it is a bond between hydrogen atom of one molecule, with highly electronegative elements such as fluorine, oxygen or nitrogen of another molecule or within a same molecule. That interaction is referred as a hydrogen bond. Okay, well, means what we are specifying here, A hydrogen bond involves hydrogen atom of a molecule with a highly electronegative elements of such as it may be fluorine, it may be oxygen or nitrogen of any other elements or within the same molecule itself. That interaction is referred as a hydrogen bond. Okay. Well, now hydrogen bond in hydrogen fluoride molecules, HF molecules. So HF fluorine is being more electronegative, therefore fluorine carries what? Partial negative charges and hydrogen atom carry partial positive charges. And these hydrogen fluorine HF molecules, when they come close to one another, they interact by forming hydrogen bond. Hydrogen atom of one molecule interacts with the fluorine atom of a adjacent molecules. So it leads to formation of a hydrogen bond. Okay. Then similarly, if I consider hydrogen bonding in water molecules, say in water molecule, what we said, say this bulkier region center is going to carry oxygen, is the oxygen atom, that small one, small white colored bonds, they indicate the hydrogen. Now, how water molecules interact means by forming hydrogen bond. Yes, how the lone pair of electrons, of a oxygen, they interact with what? Hydrogen atoms of a adjacent molecules. Whatever the lone pair of electrons present on oxygen atom, they interact with hydrogen atoms of a adjacent molecule. Therefore, thereby a bond is formed between between the water molecules. It is referred as a hydrogen bond. Well, one more example, hydrogen bonding in ammonia molecule. So in ammonia, what is the formula? NH3, right? NH3. So here nitrogen carries lone pair of electrons, and nitrogen being a more electronegative is going to carry partial negative charges and hydrogen atoms carry partial positive charges. Then how they interact? The lone pair of electrons of nitrogen, they interact with the hydrogen atoms, is the nitrogen, and these indicates the hydrogen atoms. So lone pair of electrons of one ammonia molecule present on the nitrogen, which interact with the hydrogen atoms of a adjacent molecule. So thereby a hydrogen bond is formed between the ammonia molecules. Okay. Well, so what we can say here, so hydrogen bonding is nothing but yes, it is a special type of bonding. Particularly, yes, we can say it is a type of dipole interactions. So but in hydrogen bond, what happens? The hydrogen atom of one molecule involve or interacts with more electronegative elements such as oxygen, fluorine, nitrogen of same element or any other elements. Okay, it is called a hydrogen bonding. Well, coming to the MCQs, first one, dispersion force is affected by. We already considered the factors which affect the dispersion forces in the previous session. Says, just recall, dispersion force is affected by size of an atom or molecule. Yes, true. More the size, more is the dispersion force, directly proportional. And second, number of electrons. As the number of electrons are more negative charge, so they can be easily polarized. Polarizability increases, therefore dispersion force also increases, directly proportional. Third, temperature and pressure. So we specified low temperature and high pressure is directly proportional to dispersion forces. Fourth option, all of these. So dispersion force is affected by, yes, all three options are true. So option answer is all of these. Okay. Well, then go for one more. The high boiling point of water. The high boiling point of water is due to. So as I mentioned in the last session about noble gases, more the dispersion force, what happens? Melting point increases. So both are directly proportional. Okay. So here high boiling point of water is due to. We look for the options: ionic bonding, metallic bonding, covalent bonding, hydrogen bonding. Answer, hydrogen bonding. So in water molecule, what type of bonding present? A hydrogen bonding present, and it can be related with the high boiling point. The high boiling point of water is due to presence of a hydrogen bonding in the water molecules. If hydrogen bond doesn't present, consider water exists in a vapor state or gaseous state itself, but we won't get a water in a liquid or solid states. It is only because of hydrogen bonding we get other two states, and it interrelated to the boiling point. Is it clear? Well, so with this I'm going to conclude about this session. Again, in the next session we go for other concept. Thank you. Be safe.